investment. Congratulation Day, Miss Valedictorian Elizabeth decided to lecture the entire graduating class. The moment the word material left her mouth, my God, a wave of groans hit the crowd.
We volunteer not out of altruism, but to impress prospective colleges. We go to school, not out of the love of learning, but to someday have a well-paying job. However, when we do this, we put less emphasis on developing values such as honesty and compassion, qualities that come only from within. When we would rather have a good grade than make the effort to really push our intellects to the limits, we suppress the potential of our minds. Our use of material wealth to define our inner selves dehumanizes us because it is these internal ideas, morals, and opinions that set us apart as humans and as individuals. We lose these ideas, morals, and opinions if we spend less time developing them and spend more time searching for material wealth. If we define who we are as the sum of the objects that we have obtained from the outside, is there really a person, an individual, inside the bodily shell? Everyone can theoretically have the same amount of wealth, but it is these inner qualities that set us apart from other humans, and having these inner qualities at all that sets us apart from animals. To lose our inner selves is to lose our basic humanity. This shift in personal attitude, then, has also manifested itself in the breakdown of society. Materialism, by definition, calls for personal gain as opposed to communal gain. Likewise, we value obtaining quick physical wealth over forming personal connections with others.
Looking back on it, what she said might have held some truth, but I didn't really pay attention.
In
I kind of
addition,
regret that.
we tend to see the wealthy as more moral than the poor. Studies as well as experience have shown, for example, that clerks tend to be more suspicious of a raggedy dressed patron than of a well-dressed one. This, as mentioned earlier, tends to de-emphasize values such as honesty and compassion. How many of us are willing to ignore honesty and compassion if they lead to material wealth, if we see material wealth as leading to personal goodness anyways? It is no coincidence that these values are often the same ones that emphasize togetherness. In addition, an interesting paradox occurs in our perception of the wealthy. At the same time that we see the wealthy as better people, we often also assume that they must be greedy and unsavory, perhaps having clawed their way up to the top. It is often jealousy that prompts this negative response. Thus, materialism not only divides us literally between the haves and have-nots, but also emotionally, between people who are jealous of one another. Some may say that the breakdown of the community is a sad side effect, or even a necessity of progress. However, can the issue of such apathy between the members of the human community be so easily disregarded? Are we truly at ease with the anguish and loneliness that self-obsession might bring?
After college, Lady Luck gave me her blessings, and almost immediately I found a job at Big Corp. What could easily be described as the zenith of my life, money came easy and fast. Not once did financial insecurity strike my heart. Not once did vulnerability cross my mind. Not once did flaws blemish my person. So, while I did have to move from my family, distance makes the heart grow fonder. We still talk from time to time, but their incessant pestering proved irritating and incompatible with my new lavish lifestyle.
Even like cats. I'm invited to Grandma's B-Day and funeral. Well, guess you can't judge me if I don't go. Dad's death. Dad's death and funeral. As well. Score! for calling Ampere Services. We hope you have a nice day, sir. Oh, welcome to Ampere Services. How may I help you? No, I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't have. What was that you said? Customs? No, I'm sorry. Ma'am, I can't understand you. Can you speak a little more slowly? Oh, costumes. Yes, we do. I'll connect you to customer services.
Okay, our phone number is 925-666-6666. Okay. Oh wait, that was 8 digits. My bad.
No, ma'am.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Day after day, week after week, tick after tock, the plastered, thumbtacked walls drove me to insanity. Something had been missing in this perfectly painted portrait, but it wasn't until I was alone on this goose chase to success that everything had clicked. In focusing on my goals alone, I became alone. My focus on wealth had broken ties with others because all my time was consumed by my work and my desire to succeed. Not even a second could be wasted on things that didn't guarantee rewards or uphold to my standards like friendship. In the end, at late nights, all I had to comfort me was the cold pile of cash.
Yeah, I know, I don't know. You'll have to call them all. I'll try to talk to you on that as soon as possible.
I'm sure he is.
Can I have your name, please?
Oh, you're so funny.
Alright, thank you, Margaret.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for some person to dissolve the bands of her property and to assume amongst the intellectually and spiritually free individuals of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature's God entitle her. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that one should give the reasons that impel the separation. All humans would be similar if they were endowed by the Creator with the same quantity and quality of materials. What sets them apart, what endows each with uniqueness, identity, individualism, humanness, what prevents homogeneity is not what they own, but rather what lies within. And whenever any mindset causes homogeneity, corrupts relationships, isolates individuals, stifles what lies within, it is the right of humans to abolish it, to recognize their unconditional love for materials, to remember why and how they are human, to realize materialism prevents humanness, for where one's treasure is, there will one's heart be also, and to strive to become humans once more, through separation from love of materials, in a manner as to them shall seem most likely to fulfill them intellectually and spiritually. Prudence indeed will dictate that without consumerism and materialism, the economy cannot grow, and woman, who only lives in this world once, has the right to surround herself with comforts and luxury. Indeed, it is the right of humans to buy what they want, to choose whatever path fulfills them. Indeed, luxury provides comfort and security. But the question one must ask oneself is not what is easiest to sacrifice, but rather what should be sacrificed, whether real relationships, inner identities, individualism are worth sacrificing. Seeing every relationship as commerce, every object a measure of status, every chattel the key to instant gratification, does not fulfill, rather it stifles, inhibits, eradicates human potential, and reduces, lowers, abases humans to wild beasts. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. Materialism has created an artificial identity. What one owns determines who one is. It has created an artificial measure of worth. What and how much one owns determines one's goodness. It has aroused a pathetic desire within those who possess less. It has polluted relationships, as when one human befriends another, one treats every relationship as a means of personal gain or loss, every bond and investment, every amiable relation a loan with interest. It has in turn isolated one human from another. It has even invaded our educational institutions, which are treated as markets
that offer goods to reach an end result. It has placed undue emphasis on scores, trophies, rankings, instead of compassions, philosophies, visions, moralities. It has robbed humans of character and individuality. One human is hard to distinguish from another if both have the same tawdry desire to acquire as much as they can. It has, because everything is treated as an object, induced humans to trust only the material, tangible, and real. It has stopped the human race from growing, from learning, from discovering, from tolerating, from understanding. It has, in conclusion, stripped the human being of the compassion and empathy and individuality and conscience that separates the human from the beast and replaced those qualities with love for objects and the concrete and dichotomies. It has, therefore, deprived, stolen, snatched, robbed the human race of individual potential, goodness, optimism, that would contribute to the progress of the world. We, therefore, appealing to the supreme judge of the world, for the rectitude of our intentions, for the sake of humankind, for the sake of the preservation of individuality, for the full support of this declaration, with the support of divine providence, we mutually pledge each other our lives, our fates, our sacred honor, undersigned Fiona Lau, Elizabeth Payne, Yandy Wu, Jennifer Zhu.